Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Morning Podcast for May 31st, 2025. Firstly, Mexico's judiciary is undergoing a significant transformation with the country's first ever judicial elections. The outcome of these elections will have far-reaching implications for Mexico's future, with concerns about transparency, accountability, and the delicate balance of the country's judicial system. Secondly, the Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration's request to end the humanitarian parole program, affecting up to 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. This decision marks a significant development in the U.S. immigration landscape, with potential consequences for the affected individuals and communities. Lastly, President Trump has announced plans to double tariffs on steel imports from 25% to 50%. Aiming to protect domestic manufacturers and promote economic growth. The move is part of a broader effort to bolster the American steel industry, with a planned partnership between U.S. Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel expected to create new opportunities for American workers. These stories will continue to unfold and will provide ongoing coverage and analysis on their impact on the global steel industry, U.S. immigration policies, and Mexico's judicial system. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, tensions between Israel and Iran continue to escalate, with both countries engaging in a war of words and threatening military action. We'll be bringing you live updates and analysis from our team of experts as the situation unfolds. In other news, U.S. Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss the ongoing conflict with Russia. The meeting highlights the bipartisan effort in the U.S. to support Ukraine's fight against Russian aggression, and will be keeping a close eye on developments in the region. And finally, a shocking report has revealed that Elon Musk's use of ketamine during the 2024 campaign had significant negative effects on his health, raising questions about his decision-making and leadership as head of the Department of Government Efficiency. We'll be providing updates and analysis on the implications of this story and its potential impact on Musk's business empire and government tenure. These are just a few of the stories we're following today. Tune in to our podcast for in-depth coverage and expert analysis, and don't forget to now for the latest in business and finance. Here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm your host, Louis. We have a packed show for you today, covering the latest developments in the global markets. First off, we're looking at the U.S. stocks, which managed to eke out gains despite trade tensions and geopolitical uncertainty. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average both ended higher, with the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite leading the charge. However, Asian markets experienced a mixed bag, with the Indian rupee slipping to its worst-performing currency in Asia. We're also keeping an eye on the Reserve Bank of India's bond buyback program, worth Rs 25,000 crore, aimed at infusing durable liquidity into the system. This move is expected to ease yields and support economic growth, which expanded by 7% in FY25, exceeding expectation. In other news, we're highlighting two compelling stories that caught our attention: Spotify's impressive premium subscriber growth and Roku's underappreciated expansion of profit margins. Our analyst, Gary Alexander, has upgraded his rating on Spotify to a buy, citing the company's improving margins and early-stage scale as justification for its valuation. He's also reiterated his buy rating on Roku, citing the company's current pace of profit expansion as justification for its reasonable 24x forward-adjusted EBITDA multiple. As we navigate the ever-changing landscape of the market, it's essential to stay focused on the fundamentals. With Spotify and Roku leading the charge, we're confident that there are still opportunities for growth and profit in the market. So, where do you stay your money Monday? We're keeping a close eye on these two stocks, as well as other market movers. That's all for now. Tune in throughout the day for more updates and analysis from our team of experts. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for daily market insights and news. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we have some intriguing news from the animal kingdom. Researchers have captured camera trap footage of young male capuchin monkeys kidnapping infant howler monkeys in Panama. The motivations behind this behavior are still unclear, and scientists are working to understand the implications of this discovery. In space news, the Federal Aviation Administration has announced an investigation into SpaceX's latest Starship test flight, which ended in an out-of-control descent and breakup over the Indian Ocean. This incident raises concerns about the safety and reliability of SpaceX's ambitious Starship program, which aims to send humans to Mars and the Moon. Finally, get ready for a spectacular celestial display this weekend. A geomagnetic storm triggered by a massive solar flare is expected to illuminate the night skies over North America, making the northern lights visible in parts of Canada and the United States. We'll provide you with tips on how to maximize your chances of seeing this breathtaking display. That's all for now. Tune into our full podcast for more in-depth coverage of these stories and expert insights into the world of science and discovery. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Speaking to you from the world of sports where drama and competition reign supreme, I bring you the latest updates on the most pressing stories in athletics. In our morning podcast, we'll be discussing a range of fascinating topics that have been making waves in the sports world. First off, we have some significant news from the world of football, including the surprise deal between Liverpool and Chelsea, which has set the stage for a thrilling few months of football news and drama. We'll also be talking about the latest developments in the NASCAR scene, where Raja Karuth is taking the racing world by storm with his exceptional skills on the track. In addition, we'll be discussing some concerning news about Denver Nuggets Russell Westbrook, who has undergone surgery to repair 2 breaks on his right hand. This is a significant setback for the talented point guard, and we can only hope that he makes a speedy recovery. We'll also be touching on the injury to Los Angeles Dodgers shortstop Mookie Betts, who is day-to-day after injuring his left toe in a mishap. We'll also be shifting our attention to the world of golf, where Amari Avery is making waves at the U.S. Women's Open using Gabriella Ruffles clubs. This is a fascinating story that highlights the camaraderie and sportsmanship that exists in the golfing community. And in para-hockey news, the United States and Canada will renew their rivalry in the World Para-Hockey Championship final, promising to be an exciting matchup between 2 talented teams. Finally, we'll be talking about some trending topics in sports, including the Washington Commanders making headlines and the remarkable performances in the world of tennis, with Iga Swiatek and Aryna Sabalenka reaching the 4th round without dropping a set. That's all for now, folks. This is Howard Closewell speaking, and I'll be back with more updates and analysis from the world of sports. Remember, the drama of athletic competition is always unfolding, and we're here to bring you the latest news and insights. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep on telling it like it is. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we take a look at a tragic event in the Swiss Alps, where a devastating landslide swept through a small village, leaving a trail of destruction and claiming lives. The community is coming together to support each other, and emergency services are working tirelessly to provide aid and search for survivors. In a related story, another village in the Swiss Alps, Blatten, was hit by a catastrophic event when the Birch Glacier collapsed, causing widespread flooding and damage. Authorities suspect that climate change may have played a role in this disaster, and residents are bracing themselves for potential further flooding. On a different note, we also explore a more uplifting story from New Zealand, where the village of Blatten is not the only focus, but rather an exciting development in sustainable tourism. Unfortunately, our script today does not provide details on that story, so let's shift gears back to our first two stories and remind everyone of the importance of community, compassion, and kindness in the face of adversity. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on this morning's podcast. We'll continue to bring you updates on these stories as more information becomes available. Have a great day. Now, for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we're taking a trip back in time with the fascinating story of Isabel Marant's capsule collection launch with Net-a-Porter. The event was attended by A-listers like Milla Jovovich and Lily Rabe, and featured a stunning performance by Shiloh Jolie-Pitt, who showcased her choreography skills under the pseudonym She. Trust me, folks, this kid's got talent. Next, we're diving into the world of K-pop with BTS member Jimin's solo artistry exhibit in New York City. The Truth Untold offers an intimate look into Jimin's creative process, with installations, interactive exhibits, and even a vintage-style listening room. If you're a K-pop fan or just a lover of great music, you owe it to yourself to check this out. And finally, we're taking a brief look at the incredible story of Shiloh Jolie-Pitt's surprising debut as a choreographer. With her steamy dance routine and talented dancers, she's definitely making waves in the fashion world. That's all for today, folks. Stay fabulous, and remember, when it comes to celebrity news and fashion, I'm always the first to know. Tune in tomorrow for more exciting stories, and don't forget to now for the latest in nature and environment. Here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we look at the efforts to explore and conserve our ocean's deep sea. A recent study by the Ocean Discovery League has revealed that only a tiny fraction, approximately 0.0002%, of the deep sea floor has been visually explored. This lack of exploration has significant implications for conservation efforts, marine policy, and our understanding of the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems. Secondly, we delve into the world of soil microbes and their complex relationships with global change factors, such as climate change, land use modification, and pollution. A groundbreaking study published in Nature Communications has made a significant breakthrough in understanding how these microorganisms respond to environmental stressors, highlighting the need for further research into their ecology and the importance of considering multiple global change factors when assessing ecosystem responses. Lastly, we touch on the conservation efforts in Belize, where a recent study has highlighted the importance of protecting the country's coral reefs and the need for sustainable tourism practices. These stories underscore the urgent need for more research, exploration, and conservation efforts to protect our planet's vital ecosystems. As we continue to navigate the complexities of environmental stressors, it is crucial to prioritize science-driven decision-making and responsible management of our natural resources. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of science and conservation. Until next time, stay informed, and let's work together to protect our incredible planet. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.